Okay, so aside from the fact that she stole money from me, she stole all my money. Well, there was other people that stole money from me too, but I'm only focused on her right now. Okay, so she stole millions of dollars from me. And she made sure that everything that I had that I earned, she pawned it. Whether it was clothes, jewelry, video games, like whatever you can think of that I've earned with my own money. Everything that I've earned, or even if say if it was monumental to me, it may not have been like expensive. Like say for instance, somebody buys me a watch, and it's a Marvel watch. It could be like a cheap watch, it could be anything, right? It could be like a Marvel watch or a pair of flip flops or maybe even a gold necklace. But it's a gift. It'll be something like monumental, and then next thing you know, I wake up and I'm gonna enjoy the gift, wear it, put it on, whatever, and it's gone. And I've noticed a pattern of that, like every single day. Because I come from the trenches. I come from the rags, the worst of the worst, the poorest of the poorest neighborhoods. So I had to get it about the mud. Any bread I had to make that homemade from scratch. You understand me? Like money just doesn't it didn't fall off of trees for me growing up. So every dollar, every penny that I had, I made sure that I earned it. And I tried to earn it the fair way, the honest way, and the clean way. And some of y'all know how hard it is to make money, clean money. You feel me? You can safely deposit that to the bank account. Some of y'all understand exactly how difficult it is to make clean money, to earn clean money. So imagine working 9 to 5s, underage, and anything that you buy with your own money, anything that you earn or somebody gives to you as a gift, you keep it. You hold it until whatever material item that you have is worn out most of the time, right? If you had to get about the mud and you had to earn everything that you have, or whatever else that you have aside from what you've earned was a sincere gift, you're gonna keep it until it's done. You're gonna keep it until you can't keep it no more, until you gotta throw it away, until you gotta give it away to somebody else because you can't fit it no more, whatever it is the case, right? So I had stuff like that all the time. And most of the time, like I said, the only things I really ever bought for myself was like clothes, you know? But everything outside of that was a gift, like shoes, watches, necklaces, hats, video games. Like those were gifts that were given to me by people that love me and support me, whether they were family members, whether they were a fan of, whatever hard work I put out there. They were supporters of some kind. And they showed their support by giving me gifts that they knew I would like, that was monumental and it was meaningful. And Ciara would take these objects and either keep them for herself, give them away to somebody else, or she would pawn them to make money off of it, even though she already had more than enough money. Um, and then also, I also want to highlight this part of her behavior as well. Uh, okay, so there will be times where she and I were, laying in the bed having pillow talk. Now, this is very strange because I just revealed the fact that she was a relative and I found this out after the fact. Yes, but the story needs to be told so that y'all know how cruel she was and how premeditated all of this really was. So anyway, I'm thinking she's a high school sweetheart classmate turned girlfriend, right? So we're having pillow talk, and she has to go to work. So I'm thinking she's going to work. I don't know what she's doing. I'm assuming, as far as I'm concerned, she's either working at the dollar store, like she used to work at the dollar store. She used to work at the Pizza Hut, which I hooked her up with that job When she was struggling to find a job, I hooked her up at Pizza Hut because I used to work there all the time and I have a good reputation there. So anybody that I referred to Pizza Hut, like, automatically got hired unless, they have past, credentials that say otherwise. But my word was bond. So, whatever, employers that I worked for, if I say, hey, this person is worth hiring, then they would immediately take my consideration. And I appreciated that. So I helped her get the job at Pizza Hut. I also helped her get the job at Amazon. So I assumed that those two places were one of the two places that she was working at. In any job that she got, I was behind her 100%, supporting her and hoping that she got the job, pushing her to get the job. Okay, so I'm thinking she's at work. So when I'm at home, because I trusted her, I was in positions that were a bit compromising because she and I are the only ones that got the key to the house. At least that was what I assumed. But, the door, I thought the door was locked. In some cases, I thought the door was locked. In some cases, the door was locked. But anyway, so she leaves to go to work, and I'm assuming that she locked the door behind her. So I'm in positions that are pretty compromising, like, about to get in the shower or fresh out the shower, that type of thing. You know how adults do. So, there are like a bunch of men that just come in and break in the house. Well, if the door's unlocked, then they come in straight to the front door, which I often at times wondered how they got in, considering the fact that, I thought she had locked the door. So when I started noticing that the door was left unlocked, I would lock the door behind her. But then they would still find ways to come in, whether it was, through the balcony, or if it was, they would climb up the window and come in through there. And, sometimes I'll be asleep, or, I'd be in a bathroom and I'd come out and I'd see a guy with two dogs in my house. And I noticed a pattern of that. And at first I didn't say anything because I just assumed that it was homeless people trying to find somewhere to sleep. And because the house was nearly empty, I assumed maybe they had nowhere else to go. That's what I thought at first. But then I started noticing a pattern of that. And it was the same people. So then I had a conversation with C. And I was like, hey, there's been guys that have been breaking in the middle, while you're at work. They've been breaking in. And at first she played that role of being concerned and, like she didn't know what was going on. So I assumed that she had no idea. I trusted her. I believed her when she said she didn't know. I didn't even think to ask her if she had anything to do with it because I didn't think it was her. I completely trusted her. My guard was down. I messed up. I made a mistake when I trusted her, obviously. But I was like, I'd let her know, like, as a warning, just in case she's in the house by herself, that there's men that have been coming in the house unannounced, just to be wary because, they've been coming in while I was in there in like I said, vulnerable and compromisable positions. And it was very unpleasant. It was very traumatic for me to experience a grown man that I'd never seen before, I don't remember, coming in my house unannounced. Made me very uncomfortable. So this kept happening even after I told her and I warned her that, men have been doing this. So I started, locking the balconies, locking the windows. Like I just made sure that everything was unlocked. And they somehow found a way in anyway. Like, now that was what got me. It's one thing to find something unlocked in the house, but if you're still able to break in even though like all the doors and all the windows are locked, it kind of makes me question whether or not you have a spare key, or if you're a locksmith, or you know what I'm saying, like a blacksmith where you're good with tools and you can just unlock stuff. But that made me it started making me look at her. So that was what made me look at her sideways. When I started locking all the windows and the doors in the house and they were still breaking in, I was like, okay, there's no possible way they could have gotten in unless someone gave them a spare key.